Hi, I want to showcase how I do my Imperial Guard vehicles. I've got 3 tanks here, 2 Leman Russes, both with a Vanquisher cannon, and 1 Chimera. Now, obviously, if you have taken more than extended them, you'll see they're literally more shiny, but they're more fancy. You know, if you look close, you see it's kind of it's probably one of my older ones. In fact, it may be my first one, or at least one of my first 2 vehicles I painted, and you can probably see it's also a bit dusty. That's yeah, I probably should have cleaned it up, but hard to do without damaging this thing, you know. But yeah, I've got the mostly. I mean, you see here the I think it's supposed to be magnetic, but it's a bit tight. So ignore that the scheme is doesn't continue there. But yeah, it's basically the same scheme, but like different interpretations. So the ground color is GW Jokera orange. I haven't found obviously oranges. They really don't cover well. I haven't found a better coverage one that looks the same. So I gotta keep using it. And then the stripes are in the middle. They are either Castellan green or Vallejo model color olive gray. And then in between on the lighter side, it's Death World Tourist or Vallejo Russian uniform WW2. And finally, not this one, but I went on to dry brush them with either Citadel Tyrant Skull or Pale Sand from Vallejo, which you can probably see here a bit that the detail popping out, but yeah, and I'm gonna actually start with how I did my old ones. Not the old ones from lore, but like, you know, my old Russ here. I actually used a dry brush to dry brush on the paint, which is reasonably fast, but it's a pain. It's way worse than doing it with my airbrush, which is what I do now. I use my airbrush and I use this very useful product, this this AK camouflage plastic putty, which is just so convenient. It is sometimes easy to make it. If you look here, sometimes there's like a bit of a build up, so it's physically higher, but that's I think that's mostly a skill issue on my part, and yeah, but yeah, basically here on these ones I actually one of the most important things. There used to be a GW Duncan Rhodes video explaining this, but I removed it because it's harder to do with Rogel Dawn. I don't like how GW removing their old tutorial videos. Maybe it's a copyright conflict with Duncan Rhodes, but I think it's a more of doctrine thing. I think they don't like their old style, which is a shame because I mean some of the stuff is bad advice for the kind of new painters who watches, but some of it is really good. Like that you would not glue on the tracks, that you keep them on the sprue, and then put on a base coat or dry brush of whatever metal color you use. I think I used lead belcher from GW. I'd use dark gunmetal from Vallejo now, and then wash it in a first a black then a brown shade, and dry brush it in a silver. So the you really get it, especially with the heavy dry brush. You really get this metal effect, this used you know, the kind of stuff look you'd have on these moving threads. But yeah, that's the only fancy stuff really. Everything else is just like dry brushed on and then painted on, painted, you know, fixing the details. And if you look here, some of them frankly not all that well fixed. It looks fine on the tabletop. Don't look on this guy. He's not having a good time at all. I don't know if he's a tank commander or like just a guy who happens to have the displeasure of looking into the poisonous fume, because clearly he's not doing well on this battlefield. But yeah, it's a quite a. I mean, the scheme. You can see how the scheme works at least. But now I'm gonna go to the fancy modern tanks. I did these two as a batch, which wasn't a good idea, to be honest. I do a lot of batch painting. You can see what I'm painting right now back here. My Imperial Navy breachers and also some Inquisition staff. To lead them, I guess. And actually, I've had Inquisitor, what's the name, graphics to be painted for a while. I only got the Zenithal here. It's a bit on the brighter side, but she's quite an intimidating model. You know, she's got a lot of cool details, and I also don't know what scheme I want for her. I mean, obviously something edgy, dark, inquisition-y, but that's not a scheme, that's the vibe, you know. Also this guy, which I'm just too lazy to do. And a funny story about these, what are they called? These rippers, this smaller ripper swarm. I kind of forgot to finish it while I did the rest of my turrets. But yeah, actually to come back to my tank, I really like how this turned out. This is the only one I got with the shovel thing here. Not the plowshare or whatever. You know, this thing. There's a bulldozer blade. That's it. The blade. And with the armor on it, which looks really good, but it's an upgrade kit, so I only got the one. I think it was in the box. And obviously all the stuff is push fit. It's a really good push fit model. Like even the turret is push fit too. Also this one is magnetized. It can fall out, so you can do some glue type here, some putty type stuff in there to glue it just a bit in, so it's a bit more stable. But usually, if you're not demonstrating it just works. But yeah, I'm really happy how they both turned out. But yeah, I basically did a lot of airbrush work. Oh, with this putty, this camouflage stuff, which is it just works. You know, it does what you'd expected. It works for masking, and then what I did is actually I put some oil paints on there, which was my second attempt to work with them. You can see that there's a bit of this not so nice effect from overdoing them, where they do weird stuff with being you know, too much liquidity. But I think it did work out mostly fine. That all the recesses are pretty dark. I think the it's I'm not sure if I'm happy with how all the rivets are, because they're not as defined as they are in some of the others. But maybe that's good, because they do also have the pop from the dry brush, and yeah, I definitely would have because the liquid of the oil wash can have the paint under it be very vulnerable to chipping basically. You can see some part where I covered this up with some silver stuff, so it just looks like chipped paint. But yeah, I would have probably varnished it before and after using the oil. It's also weird to have the oil and then, I mean, the dry brushing worked, as you can see, but it can be a bit weird to do it. You gotta watch out that you don't damage your model by having the paint, which is a bit wet from the oil, still on there from the oil paint. It's a bit of a process, so that's that stuff. I like the results, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it without both doing a varnish under it, just so you're safe and you don't ruin your model, and also in general as a starter thing. This is, I mean, you know, this is fine from like a tabletop vantage point. It doesn't look nice from close, like up close like this one, but I think it's perfectly fine to start. And obviously there's a varnish on there. I've got this very video gamey weak spot with a fuel barrel here, which obviously would explode if you shot it, but that's why I've got all the brave soldiers of the Imperial Guard to protect the weak spot from the vile enemies. And obviously I got detail work like the little looky holes, what do you call it, the submarine thing. You know, you used to look upwards. I got that colored. I got the missile thing, obviously the tip, but also the laser sight. Even though why would it have any tech stuff like that when it's on a 4+? It's not good. I don't know what I'm gonna do if they make it cost points again, because don't want to pay for that. But whatever. Also, this one is entirely glued in. I decided like I don't want to bother with doing all the custom stuff with it, cause I mean, this one just looks better, the multi-laser. Even if it sucks, GW really does it a disservice every time, even if it's a mediocre weapon. But yeah, it does make the silhouette look more good. It looks a bit stumped when it's just a shorter bolter or heavy flamer. Even though I like going double heavy flamer, cause they're fun and they also work good when you charge stuff with them. But that's neither here nor there. That's I was wanted to just talk about the scheme. So yeah, that's what I do. I do obviously this basic orange scheme where they're supposed to be on an orange world with orange sand and some vegetation, so it makes sense thematically. That's why I also, I mean, I don't really do active weathering. The stuff I do, it looks dirty from the way I wash it, and it looks dusty from the way I dry brush it, which I really like that. That's like one of my hobby cheating tactics, I guess, is just doing dry brushing and washing in a way where it's free weathering, cause I mean it's nice to have it work like that, because otherwise the results from, like, you can be unhappy with the dry brushing results, but if it's something that just makes it look more dirty, and it's supposed to be dirty, obviously it depends on the army. Like Imperial Guards are supposed to be dirty. What's an army that's supposed to be all clean and shit? I don't know. What's one of those? Not Nurgles. They're even dirtier. Obviously, my trench foot havers here pretty dirty too. Also, I'm technically not playing Creek, so not all the way to the trenches. But either way, all the regiments are pretty dirty. I mean, Space Marines, you can do them dirty, you can do them clean. It's however you want to. Custodes could reasonably be clean, but you could also make them dirty. So I don't know. I guess Eldari would be the elves should be probably the tidiest, but they're all on a battlefield. So especially with the new monopause dynamic stuff, it's not like they are. It's unreasonable for them to be dirty, even if they are the ones what's hardest to do, I'd say. But yeah, that's how I do my vehicles. You can leave a comment if you wanna have more details. Yeah, it's I'm very happy with them, so I'm happy to show them off. And yeah, and also if you have an idea, also I'm out of hope by now of a Jokera orange equivalent that's somewhere obtainable, that's got a bit better coverage, or just a dropper bottle, which, because I know people do put the W stuff in dropper bottles. It's what I did too now. Also, I did some other shenanigans with it, so it's a bit of a pain sometimes. But yeah, basically, leave a comment about that if you want, and I guess tell me how you like my scheme. I mean, honestly, not everyone likes it. It's the best. Not to brag, but like, it just works. I always do a lot of thinking ahead of time about what I'm gonna do with my scheme. Like these. Actually, I didn't even think so much about these Imperial Navy breaches. I just thought, do something vaguely Roman with like the tunic parts being red. I guess it works, but frankly, they're the least developed ones in that regard. Usually, I do a lot of thinking. I take so much time. I want to paint this, but then I go, do I do this? Do I do this? But then I'm thinking a bit in the fluff direction, a bit in the what looks good direction, and yeah, I got these chaos basements, but I don't know what to do with them, for example, because it's obviously Marines, the way they look, it's especially chaos ones. There's a lot of fluff implications in there. Even if it's not like green chaos Marines have to be Nurgle, but like it would be weird. It's a bit of a weird vibe. And I haven't actually decided on a vibe. I think I want to do something cleanchy, and then this tanker and his friends in there, and I guess his ugly chemically assaulted buddy here. Then they've got some death at these schemes to stop. Oh, actually, speaking of stopping schemes, one of the things I'm really happy about is how see, these ones are all orange, so it's not the best with the scheme on here. These ones actually just work. I can take them off, I can leave them on, even if there's no reason to leave them, to put them, to remove them. But yeah, also they're magnetized, but I'm also doing some extra stuff just to make them not fall off all the time, because unfortunately, actually, I'm not sure if my magnet work is bad, or I just confused which magnet, which Sponson got in which tank, because they're obviously, I didn't paint them because I was too lazy at the start, and then but I did magnetize them because you have to do it beforehand, so that's how I ended up with a situation where I've got a box full of Sponsons, or like, I guess 8 sponsons and 8 tanks, where I don't know which one's which, so yeah. But yeah, I keep on rambling. You just keep looking at my tanks. They're great. They're blessed by the Emperor. They're gonna. Actually, that's a little bit of a kit bash there that the guy's holding the stubber, because I wanted to have I don't actually like the stubbers that much on the without a guy there, because they do look a bit busy, even if they're technically somewhat realistic for like period tanks. I just don't like the look without a guy, so I have one, and then the rest just doesn't have the cupola mounted extra guns, cause I mean, I guess I hope 3 Warrior is gonna at least not stay the way it is. So maybe I regret having this one on there. But yeah. Leave a comment if you like it, or if you don't like it, leave a hate comment. Actually, don't leave a hate comment. That would be pretty rude, and I wouldn't like it. So I guess if you don't like me, that would be an effective way to marginally hurt my feelings. But yeah. Also, actually, I know I keep talking, but I really like how this. Obviously, did some dry brushing on here. I love dry brushing metallics. I know there's people doing like non-metallic metals, but I'm the opposite. I'm doing like all the shiny, all the metal particles. They just look so good. I mean, they look more metal than the actual tin would be underneath. Which, obviously, the way scale works and shit, that makes sense. But yeah. Anyway, I stop rambling now. I stop showing off my fancy armor, and leave you to like and subscribe and all those things.